Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our fifth poem. The name of the poem is A Roadside Stand, which was written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost deals with the lives of poor, deprived people. Furthermore, the poet contrasts the struggling lives of the countryside people with the insensitive life of the city dwellers. The poet deeply sympathizes with improvised people and feels compassion for them. Here, the first stanza, we will go through the first stanza here. Here goes the first stanza. The little old house was out with a little new shed in front at the edge of the road where the traffic sped. A roadside stand that too pathetically fled, it would not be fair to say, for a dole of bread. But for some of the money, the cash whose flow supports the flower of cities from singing and withering fame. In the first stanza, the poem Roadside Stand is a poem of Robert Frost, where the poet gives us a realistic picture of the rural life. He highlights the sad condition of the villagers who were looking for some money to improve their standard of living. The inmate of an old little house had extended a shed in front and it reaches the edge of the road where the traffic passed by. The owners were not begging for bread, but hoped that the cars passing by would stop and buy something from their shed. They were longing to have a feel of currency which the city folks were having in plenty. Then they could buy things needed to improve their condition. However, the owners were mistaken as the traffic whizzed past without even a look at their side. On the contrary, the city people passing by felt bad that the roadside stand was spoiling the beautiful scenery of the mountain. They felt disgust with the signboard which were not the beautiful scenery of the mountain. The good to look at and the word stand had the letter S and N turned from. At the stand, wild berries were sold in wooden cart. They also used unimpressive words like crook-necked, golden squash with silver warts for the god. The place also offered a stay in the lap of a nature at a price. Looking at the apathetic attitude the passers-by, the poetic sarcastically called the city drivers as polished traffic, and he seemed to tell them to move ahead without glancing at the roadside stand. Now the second stanza here says that the flowers of cities singing with withering pain, the polished traffic pass with the mind ahead, or if ever sighed, movement then out of sorts at having the landscape marred with the artless paint of signs that N turned wrong and S turned wrong, offered for sale wild berries in wooden pots, or crook-necked golden squash with silver warts, or beauty rests in a beautiful mountain sea. You have the money, but if you want to be mean, why keep your money discrossingly and go along? The hurt to the scenery wouldn't be my complaint. Here, now next, the poor owner of the stand wanted to earn money from the passers by selling a few indigenous berries and vegetables. He expected the rich city people traveling in cars to stop at their stand and buy those things from them. However, the people in car were too occupied to notice the stand. The few passers-by who happened to see the roadside stand complained about it. It is an ugly spot in a beautiful scenery of that place. They even found fault with the north and south sign on the signboard hang outside the stand. The roadside stand offered wild berries in wooden pots, crooked neck, golden squash, and beautiful sceneries painted on pieces of wood. The poet here expresses his sadness over the indifference of the rich people passing by in their cars without halting at the stand. The poet says he will not complain that the house and the stand are a bad spot in the beautiful landscape around. Now the next year, here goes, so much as the trusting sorrow of what is unsaid. Here, far from the city, we make our roadside stand and ask for some city money to feel in hand to try if it will not make our being expand and gives us the life of the moving pictures promise that the party in power is said to be keeping from us. The poet says that says he feels the sorrow of the owner of the stand. He even read their thoughts. His thoughts are all about earning money from the affluent passers-by who do not stop at his stand. The owner who wants to achieve financial freedom and have all the luxuries shown in the movies. Owner feels the party in power is so indifferent to their poverty. The party in power has declared in the news that poor people living in the countryside who do not have regular source of income will be given houses and employment opportunities in the village near a theater and store. The next stanza. It is in the news that all these pitiful kings are to be bought out and mercifully gathered in to live in villages next to the theater and the store, where they won't have to think for themselves anymore. While greedy good viewers, beneficent beasts of prey, swarm over their lives enforcing benefits that are calculated to soothe them out of their beds. And by teaching them how to sleep, they sleep all day. Destroy their sleeping at night the ancient way. In this stanza, the poet says, their financial condition will improve considerably. The poet says that such promises are made to them in plenty before the elections. However, after the election, no one bothers to see whether these promises were fulfilled or not. These political leaders are dangerous like wolves among the sheep. The poet feels pain and suffering of the poor owner of the roadside stand. However, he cannot do anything for them except expressing his anguish through the poem. The poet feels that the owner sits inside the stand expecting some cars to stop and buy something. But his expectation remains unfulfilled. The selfish cars keep passing by. Your next answer. Sometimes I feel myself I can hardly bear the thought of so much childish longing in vain, the sadness that lurks near the open window there, that waits all day in almost open prayer for the swinkle of brakes and the sound of a stopping car of all the thousand selfish cars that pass. Just want to inquire what a farmer's prices are, and one did stop, but only to plow up grass. In using the yard to back and turn around, and another to ask the way to where it was bound. Here, the poet says in this stanza that the poet says that he saw a few cars stop at the stand, even those cars stopped at there for their own selfish motives. A car stopped just to endure a farmer's wages. Another stopped just to use their yard to back and turn the cart around. Another car stopped to know the way. One more car stopped to know if the owner would provide a gallon of gas, and the poet wonders at the car's owner's ignorance. Did the condition of the house and the stand not make them think how he could get a gallon of gas from there? And another to ask, could they sell it a gallon of gas? They couldn't, discrossingly. They had none, didn't it see? No, in country money, the country's scale of gain, the requesting lift of the spirit has never been found, or the voice of the country seems to complain. I can't help owing the great relief it would be to put these people at one stroke out of their pain. And the next day, as I come back to the sale, I wonder how I should like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of my pain. In the last answer, the voice says that now the complains that in spite of the growth in the national economy, there are little improvement in the financial accept of the rural people. The rich are getting richer while the poor remain poorer. The poet says that he can hardly bear the pain and misery of these people. At times, he thinks of putting them out of pain by going and killing them all. And next day, he will come to senses, he expects that someone should come to him and put him out of pain similarly. This was the summary of this poem, Roadside Stand. Now we will see the following the poetic device can be identified in the poem. First one is the transferred epithet. Transferred epithet is used here, polished in the polished traffic and selfish cars. Traffic is the noun, the adjective is what here polished. So this is what transferred epithet, and selfish cars. Cars are noun, cars is noun and selfish is adjective. So this in these two words transferred epithets are used. And personification, as you know, in inanimate things which are given the human qualities. Here, the sadness that lurks behind the window, the roadside stand that to pathetically flex. These are the lines. The personification are used. Alliteration, greedy, good doers, beneficent, beast of prey, pathetically fled. Greedy, G letters are repeated. Beneficent, B letters are repeated. Pathetically fled, P letters are repeated. Now we will see the gist of the poem. Here, the villagers pay heavy price as they had to lose their land. The civic authorities are successful in fooling these knave villagers. They promise them a better life and a good sleep. However, these civic authorities are the ones who sleep peacefully while making the lives of the villagers miserable. Work during the day and sleep night and the north in ancient times. However, there has been a reversal of the norm as the villagers are not able to sleep at night. The poet expresses his distress while explaining the endless weight of shed honors for buyers. There is an ambience of sadness all over the place. Sometimes a car stops, but that is to inquire about the farmer's price. Furthermore, others who stop just want to make use of the gap. One of the cars stopped for a gallon of gas. Moreover, this demonstrates the sense of alienation between urban and rural life. The poet regrets that money is not abundant in countryside. Furthermore, money can raise spirits while lack of the heat depends it. The villagers have tendencies to express their grievances about a life which has the lack of money. Moreover, the poet becomes very emotional and contemplates their fate. He certainly wants to change their lives in one and go, but understand that this will be a futile act. Now we will see the conclusion of this poem of this roadside stand, which was written by Robert Frost. The conclusion is here. Roadside stand summary shows that the great contrast between the comfortable life of city dwellers and the harshness faced by the improvised rural people. I hope you have understand this poem. Until next class, keep watching, keep practicing. Goodbye.